You do the same old tricks. You're trying to say I sexually assaulted somebody 30 years ago. You got to talk about sex. Great. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about how much money America spends on child pornography. We're the number one consumer of child pornography in the whole wide world. Okay, so America spend more money on child pornography than anything else. Uh, we consume the most child pornography in the whole wide world. Okay, I think that if you want to talk about sex, why don't we talk about that? Why don't we talk about all the missing children? Where'd they go? Yeah, where all the missing kids go in Maui? Where are they? You want to talk about sex, right? You want to talk about sex so bad? Let's talk about. Yeah, but see, we're not. Yeah, see, child pornography is like something that. Oh yeah, well, yeah, I know it's a soft subject. Yeah, I know it's uncomfortable. Nobody wants. That's funny. Nobody wants to talk about it, but they sure seem to want to watch it. You know, if we're the number one consumer of child pornography, I think we should do something about that. It's embarrassing. I don't want to live in a country that consumes the most child pornography. You brought the subject of sex, so let's talk about it. Yeah, if you let me, I'm gonna do something with the pornography, and we're gonna put a ban on it. Okay? Yeah, a temporary ban on pornography until we get the child suicide rate down. All right. We are also the number one. Children are the number one killer of children between ages 8 and 12 is suicide. So I think maybe there might be a correlation with the porn being easily accessible, with the only girlfriends. Most of the women are making money on only girlfriends, and the kids are killing themselves between ages 8 and 12. Okay, all right, that's the kind of stuff. That's today. I don't know about 1993. Oh yeah, but see, I'm paid to push that. Okay, because we want to make you look like a pervert. Okay. So I get that's what they pay me to do. We're not having a real interview here. Oh, okay. Well, see, I thought you were different because you're not a major mainstream uh, guy. So, but yeah, it's unfortunate that they've gotten to the little alternative media too. It's a shame that they did it with Julian Assange. They do it to anybody. If they don't like you, they find some woman in your past and they pay her enough money. They did it with Trump. It's funny how they don't seem to ever do it to a Democrat, though. It's weird how that doesn't usually happen to Democratic candidates, you know. Uh, but yeah, if they don't like you, that's what they do. They find somebody in your past, pay them some money, so they go on record saying you're a pervert. And yeah, if we don't like perverts, then how come everybody in Washington D.C. seems to be a pervert? They're the ones spending the money on farts in a jar. Okay, women could go online right now and spend and make farts in a jar, and then you know who's buying the farts in a jar? Oh, I never heard of that before. Yeah, $1,000 they spend on farts. Oh, but do you happen to know what website is that? She sells farts in a jar. Are you serious? Yeah, for $1,000. So you say the politicians are the ones buying the farts? How were they able to find that out? Well, they did so. Yeah, how were they able to find that out? Well, I mean that just seems absurd. $1,000 for parts in a jar? Who has that kind of money? So you're saying our tax money is going to parts in a jar? Parts in a jar. We just have to do a policy. Uh, well, yeah, they did. It's easy enough to find out because you just because it's all bought with credit cards and stuff. And yeah, so they did. Somebody did it. I forget who it was, but they found out that most of the people, 90% of the people buying the parts in a jar were politicians. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now, if you're like me, we're gonna have a we're gonna be doing an audit. Okay, you can't be taking taxpayer money and spending it on parts. That's why we're gonna put a temporary ban on pornography. All right, we don't want anybody buying parts in a jar for $1,000. That's ridiculous. Okay, the economy is pretty bad right now. I have an idea about. I want to be able to focus on the kids. Okay, the kids are killing themselves, so I want to try to. I'm thinking about maybe what? Well, having but yeah, segregation. Oh, that's gonna make you sound like a racist. Yeah, what do you mean segregated the kid? Well, see, I look. If we had each district, all right, we have a white school, black school, and a Asian school. A white school, black school, Asian school, and Hispanic school. They're all teaching English though, but at each school they could have. See, we have a lot. We had recently. We had like a couple kids get beat up just because they were white. All black school. And that's not fair. All right. It's say if you live in a district and you're the only white family, it's uh it's scary to be the only white person in a school. So it's like I would think I'm going to give it a try. We need to update our schools anyways. It'd be like having mini Olympics every year. I mean, the kids would be able, Asian kids would be able to play basketball just as well, as black kids. It seems like sports are real essential. And plus prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance is essential. White people like that in the school, and oh, okay. So you say you have like segregated schools so that parents could actually teach their kids the way they want, and then when they play sports, you'd be like mini Olympics every year with the kids, right? And just see if that does better. Yeah, see if that makes an improvement with the suicide rate. Because I think we can also have incentives like whoever group of schools does the best academically would get like a new gymnasium or some new computers, that kind of thing. It would be bring back competition. It's not being like racist. See, racist was the study of races and culture. When you think of racism, it's actually bigotry. What you're thinking of, and this wouldn't be a bigotry thing at all. It would be the celebrations of culture, and it just to be protecting kids so that they're not the only color in the whole school. I mean, I wouldn't want to be the only color in this one in the school. Being a little kid, that would be scary. And kids are literally killing themselves because of that as well, and the pornography. So I think I'm gonna, yeah, redirect my administration's gonna be focused on America, just America and the kids. Okay, the kids deserve better. The kids deserve better. They deserve protection. They should be celebrated. We have a Pride Month, great, but we should have a Kid Month too, where we champion children and their achievements. Where we have platforms where we celebrate good behavior. Right. Oh yeah, because a lot of rap songs and a lot of movies they glamorize gangster and bad behavior, where the bad guy always wins. So you say like have more platforms where the people that do good can get applause for change. How come his place never gets on there? How come it's just that guy? Can we see? There we go. There we go. All right. Yeah. 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 So that's another thing I want to make. Uh, I want to see. The thing I'm concerned about is I think that both of these candidates are guilty of war crimes. All right. The way they locked us all down and the way the medicine killed a lot of people. That's crimes against humanity. That was worldwide. That laboratory was funded by America. Okay, that's gonna bite us in the ass. All right, but how come nobody's talking about that? So if you vote for a war criminal, right? Both of these guys both parties are guilty of war crimes. Either way you look at it, whether it's these two candidates or the Iraq War or any of that stuff. Afghanistan was a surrender. Nobody's talking about that. We still have the same generals who left all that equipment. Okay, that need to be dealt with. What happened to all that equipment? Why did they train the people to use the equipment? Why was all that money left behind there? How come nobody has addressed that? Where's the big Congress doesn't even have power anymore. You know that they don't have arresting power. They have zero power. They're kind of like the way the royal family is to Britain. They're just for show. So I want to change that. I want to bring the power back to the people. All right, and I want to do an audit. I want to audit, and I want to have and I want to turn the networks since you guys said safe and effective, you lost control of the networks. You don't get to be the network control anymore. The networks are for the people, you know. So we want to run the government through the networks. Like each network is going to be, you know, one's going to handle the military, one's going to have academic, and then one's going to be the medical, you know, one's going to be infrastructure. And I'm going to list all the people we hire, what they make. Uh, yeah, you really think that you'd be allowed to get that? Sounds kind of far fetched. How are you going to be able to turn the networks into give it back to the people? How would you be able to do that? I mean, the networks are really powerful. You're not going to just be able to, you know, how are you going to be able to do that? I don't understand. Do you have the actual plan? I mean, that's just kind of like, you know, I don't know, it seems like that's like a wish list or something. Well, no, since they said safe and effective and it wasn't, that was a big lie, okay? They talked a lot of people into taking medicine that was going to either hurt them or kill them, okay? And that's just a fact. And we can't be afraid of our government. And we can't be afraid of our networks. You understand? So the networks, you could either go to jail, you know, for lying, and it's actually crimes against humanity. You can't be saying shit's safe when it's not safe. They never even apologize, okay? And if you have control over your the people with the guns, we're supposed to. The president's supposed to have control over the FBI and CIA. You know, they're supposed to back whatever the president says. So I want to try to get it back to that, and I want to have the networks be used for running the government, so people could actually call in. You know, and we could have channels where one shows all the show does is show all the who was recently hired, what they make. You know, oh okay. Yeah, I also think. I think we should do a consensus too before the election. But it seems like that. Yeah, consensus take a long time. Yeah, I agree with you though. It seems like yeah, we did have a lot of people die and new people come in. So it seems like a consensus is in order. I mean, it seems like it should have been taken before an election. You know, we don't really know what our numbers are anymore. We don't. I mean, as far as we know, white people could be the minority. We don't even know. You know, I mean, if you got little white kids being beat up because they're the only white kid in the school, maybe they're not the minority anymore. You know, maybe white people are the minority. You know, so I think we need to, you know, do a consensus, see who else here and who's here legally, and you know, see what affiliation they're from. You know, I mean, that way we will have a better idea of any kind of shenanigans. We definitely should go back to same day, you know, ballots and ID and all that. The cheating's just rampant. Oh, so you thought January 6th was cheating involved? You actually thought that? But the network say that. I mean, isn't that illegal just to say that? Aren't you committing a felony right now by saying that? No. No, see, that's ridiculous. See, that's another thing. Freedom of speech. See, that's why I ran, all right? The way everything's going right now is nuts. You shouldn't be worried about getting arrested by doubting that Joe Biden. Everybody knows that Trump is more popular than Joe Biden. You can just see it in his rallies and everything. All right, and the whole mail-in ballots and all that. But see, the thing is, Donald Trump. It was under his watch that that happened. He bought all those machines. He locked down the country. All right, so he's the reason why they were able to cheat on such a grand scale. So they're both guilty of fraudulent bullcrap. They're all part of the same deal. They want to enrich their own families. Ivanka walked away. Ivanka and her husband walked away with $1 billion after his administration. And Joe Biden's they're all billionaires now. And you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to go in for service. You're not supposed to be coming out millionaires. You know, California used to have the most millionaires. You know who has the most millionaires in this country now? D.C. Yeah, per capita. Yeah, it used to be California, but now it's D.C. When you look at how many millionaires are living in D.C., it's outrageous. It's just really astounding that you shouldn't be going in to public service. That's why they call it public service. You're not supposed to be going in to make money. You're supposed to be going in to help the people, and they keep everything that kind of law and order. People have to follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, then we're all right back in the wild, wild west. Now, the government wants to make it like they don't have to follow the rules, but the people do. They want to be able to take your guns away so that you will be defenseless, and then they'll be able to be even bigger dictators than they are now. As far as we know, they could want to make us all slaves. For the Culver in Idaho. They're opening up a mine there, and they're taking the water away from the farmers. How come nobody's talking about that? They're literally taking water away from crops so they can mine lithium in the ground. Okay, but nobody likes that job, right? A lot of times when you're mining for something, look at Africa. You have to make them slaves. You have to force them with the gun because otherwise we're having a hard time finding people to work a nice job, let alone a horrible job like mining. Okay, so that's where we're headed. I mean, yeah, that's where we're headed, and it seems like I don't know. I'm being guided by, I really think, by my ancestors' spirits. They never had a chance to actually have a whole administration. And I think what the government did to my family is irreprehensible. You know, is was wrong. All right, and if I had a chance to be in the office, I would be able to fulfill their legacy. And that would mean a lot to me to do that. But that's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do a good thing. And it's funny how people don't seem to support people that are good anymore. I mean, that makes sense though. If America's spending consumes the most in child pornography, that's what pornography does. It makes you degenerate, and you don't want to be around anything good. Good becomes foreign to you. Same with like when you believe lies, you won't be able to believe facts anymore. If you're so your whole life you've been believing lies, facts will become foreign and alienated to you. You won't even be able to. You don't want anything to do with them. Same with God. When you kick God to the curb and you just want to hang out with the devil. Yeah, when God, had to try to get people to want God back. God's sacrifice and work. And God means doing stuff that you don't necessarily want to do. But it's the right thing to do. And nobody wants to follow that. We've been so spoiled. They're doing whatever. Do it thou will is a more popular concept than honoring thy mother and father and doing the right thing. You know, People that are spoiled and that have been hanging out with the devil, do it thou will. They've been doing whatever they want they don't want to go back to having to sacrifice or even be scolded or any kind of punishment. They want to be able to do whatever they want and feel like that's okay. It's great. That's why they want to make pedophilia legal. They don't want to feel like they're being judged. They want everybody to think pedophilia is great. That's why they have a whole month for homosexuality. It used to be against the law here, but now we want everybody to believe it's great. It's great to let the homos adopt the children. Okay. Now that everybody thought that was a great idea, but now child suicide is number one. Okay, between 8 and 12 year olds. So maybe we should go back to certain laws that we put into place and revisit them because ever since they were allowed to get married, child suicide went up. So maybe that was a new thing. We never had moms and dads adopt children before. So it seems like we should, as an experiment, we should have been a little bit more closer eye on that. That was a big deal. It was a big deal. But then all of a sudden, as soon as they got the right, nobody cared about it anymore. All right, so maybe we should care about that and start looking into why are there's so many kids missing now too. So what happens when they adopt the kids? They just go missing all of a sudden. We don't know because nobody's caring about it. Well, I wanna make children my top priority. Okay, I want to bring the child suicide rate down, and I want to put a temporary ban on pornography till it goes down. That's not a popular opinion or a popular thing to do. And I'm gonna have to figure out a way to do it without being president. Then, okay? Because I'm gonna make it my mission. I'm not. If you think just not voting for me is gonna send me away to oblivion, you're wrong. All right, you can either vote for me. I could do a lot more, a lot faster, if we could help kids, or you could not vote for me, and we could actually end up being slaves. How long do you think God's gonna let us messing around with kids? How long do you think the world's gonna be? How popular do you think we're gonna be when all we do is pornography and lie and wars? Do you think people are gonna like us, or they're gonna be mad at us? All we seem to do is wars and porn. That's all we have to offer the whole wide world. Yeah. Oh yeah, we sell guns to everybody and we sell porn to everybody. Well, I want to change that. I don't want it to be like that anymore. It's embarrassing, it's disgusting, and it's harmful to the world. So I want to try to redirect the what we spend our money on, what we buy with our money. We shouldn't be buying child pornography. That's disgusting. America used to be against that. All of a sudden, we spend the most on that. So that needs to change. You can either vote for me to change it, and we could get it done sooner than later. But I'm telling you, you can not vote for me, just not vote for me. And don't think I'm going to go away, because I'm not. And I've got kids, and they'll, they'll take the torch. If I don't accomplish it in my lifetime, I'm gonna point that to one of my children to do it. We're not gonna be the country that consumes the most child pornography. No, not while I'm still alive. I'm gonna change that. All right. Thanks for letting me talk.